I was looking for a life coach to help me with a life transition and going through sort of a few of the videos that Fiona had put out. A lot of the things she was saying resonated with me, and I felt that I felt really comfortable and thought she'd be the right person to help me with what I was going through with the transition I was going through. So in my case, I had closed down. I was running a gym for 6 years, and about this time last year, sort of my accountant at the time said I had to, either sell my home or the warehouse that I had the gym in. I was lucky enough I owned the warehouse. I guess I just had taken on probably too much on my mortgage on my family home, and I just wasn't making enough cash in the business. So I made the decision to close the gym. So I ended up selling the warehouse, and through the sale of the warehouse, I was able to pay off my mortgage and then be sort of financially free again. But through that, the funny thing is, all through this, I was actually having a really difficult time making the gym work. I wasn't enjoying being there. I wasn't enjoying just a lot of things that were going on. But training and health and fitness has been a part of my life and got me through some other things. So it's been a real sort of topsy-turvy. And by doing so, by selling the warehouse and closing the gym down, I've effectively sort of fired myself from the position. So, and I have nothing ahead that I have planned at all. So that's been what I've been looking, what's been happening in my life. So the problem that I was facing is that even prior to my accountant a year ago, about this time a year ago, he said, "Hey, come into my office. We need to make some decisions here on your assets." I was actually 3 months prior to that, to 6 months prior to that, like thinking, how am I going to get this gym going so I can make enough to pay off my mortgage? I knew I always had the asset of the warehouse, which I bought 6 years ago. So I didn't know what it'd be worth, but I just always knew I had that in the background. But this was coming to the point where it was like, hey, I've got to make this work. And I made a few calls to try and grow the business, trying to put more into the business to grow it, like investing. And it all just went the other way. I felt like every decision I made went against growing the gym, being stuck doing a lot of, for points in time, doing a lot of hours. And I'm separated with 2 young kids, like a five-year-old and 8-year-old, and trying to manage it all. I felt really stretched at times, and I was wondering, like, it has to be a lot easier and simpler. And then getting the call from the accountant sort of took it out of my hands. I could have decided to sell the house and kept the gym and kept it going, but it just was like, after lots of thinking about it, I made the decision to sell the warehouse, so I had to close down the gym. But in doing so, I knew what the gym had meant to a lot of people, where even like my old coach took it on. Things had never really been the same since, and I just sort of decided to walk away from it all. And so it's been real heartbreaking, like losing all that. I no longer want to sort of be around the gym. That was a problem I was facing, was like, what next? What now? What am I going to do with my life? Am I going to open up another gym? I actually started a garage gym. Had one client in there, but she left after about a month. And I started looking at another location, and I was like on the fence, not committing to it, not creating space to move on to maybe something else. It was funny, like one of my best mates started doing, he was an engineer, was a draftsman, and he started to do some life coaching groups, and I was in one of his sort of, I guess, first groups. It was really good, like introduced me to some daily practices. It was like a 6-week thing, and that was quite good. And then we went on to some one-on-one for about 2 or 3 weeks, but it's just too close to home, being my friend, bit of a conflict of interest. Yeah, it was very calming, posing very like thoughtful direction of questions, where you led yourself to the answer. And I think that obviously takes a lot of skill and patience on her side and experience. It went for quite a long time. I think we had about 3 hours in our one. Probably a lot of just me like backtracking a lot of what has hurt me, what I was feeling in the past, and finally getting to a decision there. And the decision I made was to let go of pursuing any gym whatsoever and just dropping that weight off my shoulders. And then from that, I could now just look to what I might want to do with my life now. Yeah, the first session, I was emotional by the end of it, realizing what I was holding on to and once to let it go. So I knew there was like a breakthrough there. And then the follow-up session, just sort of, I was maybe slowly getting off track again with like wanting to like open up the gym again. And I was just going back to comfort or like what I've known, but I feel like I'm back on track again, with some space to like, in my life, just to really have like a bit of a time out or a gap year where I can just slow down quite a lot and just focus on things that I enjoy and what I might enjoy. And then from that, maybe work on a few little things and just enjoy more family time with my young kids when I have them. Yeah, so how do I feel now is, just more relaxed, that things happen for a reason, and I feel more present as well, which is a good thing. Like I still don't know what my future holds in terms of what I might do, but I'm actually just enjoying like trying to be very present from day to day and just have little small goals, and just try things that I might like. I've done a few courses already. I think I can show them and be very open with how my experience with Fiona and how it's worked for me in connecting the dots, and how it might work for them. I don't know. Like I just don't know anyone in my life that I could help right now. But I'm sure when that comes the time, I can connect the dots that would be good for them just through my own experience and where I was before and after. And I think that would help them make their decision. I think it was just that third party person who took the time to work through these issues with me in a professional way, that was where you actually talked yourself into the decision of what you want to do next. Like I solved my own problem, and she just guided it through appropriate timing of listening and questions back, and where you have to do the thinking and then come up with what's just in your head. And I think just saying some of the things in your head out loud to someone, having that sort of acknowledged, is what unlocked things. And it didn't drag on like for session after session, like weekly after week. I knew it was just going to be the one session where we get a lot of the chest, and just getting that one big thing is all I was really after. So it's like simple in that way, where I wasn't trying to solve all these different issues. It's just that one big thing. And for me, it was just letting go of pursuing my old life, or my old job, old career, and opening up space to move forward for my next chapter.